Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I am now doing this review on this 2018 Audi A4. This one is in a Premium Plus interior trim, the S-Line package. They come in a few different packages. You got the Ultra, which is kind of your base trim, and then you have your Premium, and then your Premium Plus, and then the Prestige. So this being a Premium is pretty well equipped. Also, even with the base A4, you're still getting Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. So let's move around the exterior. You can see just how this car looks, how aggressive it looks right away. The S-Line package really gives it a nice sporty flair. I mean, you look at these ducts. These are functional, by the way, for looks like cooling the brakes going in here. You get the LED headlight. There's also a black optic package option, which will black out all of this chrome. I rented it from Silvercar. Obviously it comes in as is, but they seem to well equip these cars right off the bat, you know, with the virtual cockpit and, you know, a lot of other features with it, you know, the blind spot monitor, rear cross traffic alert, also the parking sensors. So let's walk around. I'll give you guys a nice exterior walk around and I'll talk about a little more features. Looks pretty okay here, just a kind of traditional Audi key, and you can also lock and unlock here from the fob, or you can do it has a smart key access. So by locking the car, you see it set up right now to mirrors fold in. Then to unlock the car, all I want to do, you see these little dimple here, that's one way you can lock the car. And to unlock, place your hand behind the door panel, handle, unlocks. And rear doors also have sensors. So Audi's virtual cockpit, which I covered in a couple of videos, so I won't go too much in depth with it. Glove box, softly damped. No leather on dashboard, just kind of your, you know, your basic kind of like a vinyl film or whatever. I don't know what you call this thing. The mirror is auto dimming, and the side mirror is also dim as well. You have the drive select here. You have different drive select options. Have auto start stop. So I'm gonna actually turn this car on. Start it. Foot in the brake. Start button is down here. The mirror is open. And normally there's some type of startup sequence, so you get the Audi logo usually in both of them screens. But since I just started this car, you're not gonna see that. And you can see you got two screens here. You can actually configure this any way you want. So I have right now navigation here, but if for some reason I want navigation here in the main screen, I can just scroll over to the navigation. Now you have a full navigation screen here. And actually now I can change this if I like over to, you know, music or media or radio, whatever I prefer. It doesn't matter what we choose. Hitting the view button, now you can make your tachometer, speedometer now, you know, traditional, or you can just have it kind of like out the way if you don't want to see that. You can zoom into the navigation if you need. You can zoom out. So there's a lot of features you can do here just in the navigation alone. Car does have paddle shifters. This is a quick responding paddle shifter because this car is a dual clutch, what Audi calls their S-tronic gearbox. So it is a dual clutch and it shifts pretty quickly. Climate control display, you have three level heated seats. You have 3-zone climate control, so the back passenger does have his own separate temperature. And touching here gives you more options, so you can now see what exactly you can sync it. And this is kind of gives you a little more options if you don't know what these buttons do. You can just rest your finger over it, and by doing that, it can tell you, okay, if I want this to be on back on auto, I can do this auto, or I can just make this, you know, so many different options. Or you can just press this for auto, and if I want to sync them all together, now they're all synced. You also disable with auto start stop, which turns engine off at stoplight as they fuel. Traction control, parking sensors. If I want to turn this screen off, just by hitting this, now that screen is completely off. Unfortunately, it's always in this position, does not retract like the Q7s. Drive select, you have different drive modes. Comfort, you have automatic, which is kind of automatic configures. You have dynamic, which obviously sharpens throttle response, steering, and the transmission is going to be a little more aggressive on the shifting, and it's going to hold gears a bit longer. Now, what I like about these drive modes is when you select them, you turn the car off, you get back into the car later, the car remembers that, you know. And a lot of cars seem like the default back into their comfort setting. I don't know why, but this car seems to remember your last setting, which is great. You have USB port here, 12-volt outlet down here, cup holders. You got ambient lighting around the outside here, but cup holder, all I have right now is my hydro flask to show. You can see it fits in here perfectly, but now you block some of your controls. So if you have a taller drink, just be mindful that it could block. I mean, obviously a coffee mug could fit in here perfectly, but you know, anything taller, then you know, you said you go to like a fast food and you get drink here, you're gonna block out some of these controls. You have shortcuts here, so these right now, these are not assigned, but hovering over them you can see, and right now one is programmed for the Sirius XM chill button radio station. So just running across these here, you get all of your settings. The wheel does turn the correct direction, you know, it's updated MMI, so left and right, you know, obviously it goes the correct direction. So Audi shifter is pretty simple. Just like any other shifter, you button, pull it back. The only difference is it's going to always reset back into the center position. So for example, if I'm going to go to drive, button then, go down to drive. Be liberate with your movements now in drive. Reverse, all the way forward. Neutral, back one. Drive, back one. And you, from reverse, you don't need the button in to actually engage. But to go out of a drive, you need to press the button in. To go into reverse, you need to press the button in. But to come back out, you can just come straight back. Park, simple, one button. Parked. This little slot here, I'm not sure what it is, but I use that perfectly placed with the key. Obviously you can do what you want, but this is what I use it for. Going back here, you have your volume knob, obviously, and then you can slide over to change your tracks if you listen to music or something. That's another way to click. Another USB port, another auxiliary outlet. This is a place, if the key dies, this is where you'll set it to give it the signal to start the car. And then you can see here you have Bang & Olufsen, 19 speakers. Got your vanity, LED light. These are soft touch, and you hold them down and they'll dim automatically. Sunroof. And like about this, if you want to tilt it, vent it without opening the glass, you have vents here. So that way you can, now it's vented. You have your home link for your garage doors. And you guys can see it, but by engaging reverse or hitting this P, you get the backup camera. Parking sensors are here. So if I go forward and go towards the parking block and see if the sensors pick it up. Alright. Sensors do pick up the parking block very little bit. Actually not anymore, so it doesn't detect those very much. And you have the guidance lines. And see here, go in the menu. You have a list of different options: telephone, navigation, map, Audi Connect. This is your smartphone interface. Like I said, this shows the Apple CarPlay, which I don't have my cable to demonstrate that. Blind spot is probably one of my favorites in Audi because they can detect a vehicle that is rapidly approaching from the back. So if the car's coming up pretty quickly, you're gonna get an advanced warning, as opposed to waiting until the car actually enters your blind spot, then turning on. That could be too late. You got memory seats, power folding mirror, heated mirrors. So turning this button here to the switch actually activates the heat. Turning it here neutral turns it off. Turning it here, hold them in. And all four windows are automatically down and automatically up. And this light here is not a fog light, but it works similar to that. Basically, an inclement mother hit this light, and a separate light comes on to now hit the ground more to show you the lines. It's kind of similar to a fog light, but if you look at it, it's not a traditional fog symbol. It's just a light that kind of shows the lines. It's all it's always meant to do is show the lines. And wipers are rain sensing wipers. Sitting in here, different seat positions. tilt, telescopes. Overall, very comfortable. So here I am, 5'8", sitting behind my position, and a lot of leg room. Definitely stretch out. Handle here if I need to. A lot of trunk room in this car. Nose right at the next clip. Definitely show that trunk room. Not sure if all of this is going to fit in this car. You have 13 cubic feet of space in the trunk, but we'll try. I got one large suitcase, 2 medium, 1 carry-on. So this like only held the large, the medium, and a carry-on. See if it closes. Closes fine. And this is premium fuel only. The Audi's 2.0 liter 4-cylinder, and this engine, like I said, pumps out 252 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. And just driving this car, it feels a lot quicker than what the horsepower is rated. So this is the car in comfort mode. This is how quiet it's going to be. We're at 40 miles an hour. Now let's take a look at the corners, how well it handles. Very little body roll. Not as good as like an M car or a, an S4 or anything like that, but for just being the regular A4, very nice turn in. Not as much feel from the steering wheel, not much feedback I was expecting from a German car, but it's definitely still fun to toss on the corners.